Let us not tarry, he's too big to carry. We'll cremate the other two later. Wrap them with furs on the backs of the burros. Ignore them, their vociferous nature. Of customs to keep, time for to weep. We'll be somewhere farther away from here. What regrettable loss to be bound with a floss in terms habitual for to endear. The wood in the distance promised fuel for the listless. They still rattled, should night not bring slumber, of dire circumstances suggesting no chances. The trees of the wood but seemed to lumber. Lumbering trees, what shade-born unease, grotesquely begnarled, be you advised. Darkened enchantments, glutinous decantments, most dire sap would surely arise. What glowering murk did evil here lurk, agglomerating what ill will did gather, a connivance to goad this conjunction of woe, in certitude no syllabicating zephyr, an aether's ferment, or dweamer misspent, or pendulous pejoration rather. Of dire inclination, this peripheral perturbation, of malice, this endoplasmic lather, a smut in the trees, this shade-born unease, no snarl for the wind to deride. With two glowing eyes, a shade I'd surmise, our course for the wind to decide. Anywhere but in there, for that ain't no bear, enter not I that would on a dare. We'll skirt to the left as we make for the cleft, no scare for to share, we shall dare. Behind us now stood that white of the wood, embossed in low shadows of twilight. Forth he did venture to vent his displeasure, a panoply of frustration and spite. Sullen he stood, then turned back to the wood, a remonstrance, his message unclear. A reparation in remuneration, or simply a shadow to fear. What trek to partake, the best course to take. For weary souls somewhat disheartened, yet rising it wound round yon granite domes to the north of the Horsebane escarpment. Atop the plateau green grasses did grow, which carpeted the slope's gentle rise, which wove in between the mounds yet unseen, behind the near face of momentous size. Seems flat from a distance, what vague false appearance of sunlight atop forest canopy would tangle below at ground level grow, neath umbrella all gnarled and thickety. What willowy trace at foot of rock face, winding round root, wick, and stump, skirting the trees, trunks, and root knees, meandering around hollows and humps. With meadows behind in single file line, they wound up the path of ascension, for loss of good time through tangle and vine, with murmurs and silent dissension. In softly lit dell this night they would dwell, beneath cover of the wyvern hide tent, near foot of rock face at precipice base, the pavilion and fire pit went. End of Book 3.